What if the things quietly draining your retirement aren't the big expenses at all? At 65, I realized it wasn't the major bills hurting me financially. It was actually the everyday little habits that were quietly stealing my money month after month. And once I recognized them, I started changing them. And so everything began to shift, not just financially, but emotionally, mentally, and honestly, even spiritually. And the last one, I truly believe, quietly destroys more retirements than most anything else. So I have 10 habits that I had to get rid of. And coming in at number 1, emotional shopping. And this one was a huge wake-up call for me. For years, I would just randomly walk in stores buying things because they were cute, or they were on sale, or they were trendy, or looked beautiful on someone else. But most of these purchases never truly worked together, and I had a closet full of clothes that I never even touched. And honestly, I was wasting an unbelievable amount of money buying random pieces instead of building my wardrobe intentionally. And everything changed once I finally understood my colors, and I created a true wardrobe plan that was built around what actually flatters me and works for my body type and for my lifestyle. Now, I know exactly what I'm looking for. Colors especially, camel, ivory, coral, aqua, tomato red, just to name a few. And if something isn't in my color palette, like black, I usually don't even stop to look anymore. And you know, the majority of stores, they're full of black items, very few color. And that one shift alone actually dramatically changed my spending habits. I can now walk into a store and I can leave just by looking around. Within 10 minutes, I'm out. And another thing retirement taught me, if it's not at least 50% off, I usually don't buy it. And I've become the queen of thrifting because at this stage of life, I've realized something. You don't need more clothes, you just need the right clothes. To be perfectly honest with you, I probably dress better now with fewer pieces in my closet than I ever did with an overflowing closet. Number 2, this is so hard, my nails. Now listen, I absolutely love having my nails done. It makes me feel feminine, polished, put together, and it helps to hide my aging hands. But when I finally sat down and added up the cost, what a wake-up call. Between the fills, the pedicures, the tips, the little upgrades, it was easily draining my account over $100 a month. And that's being conservative. So this month, ladies, my nails are coming off. In fact, this one's already off. And that's gonna be hard, but I am switching to press-on nails. If anyone out there has a great brand they like, go ahead and drop it in the comments. But I found some for $18, and $18 versus $60 for a fill, that's a winner. And honestly, I think the press-on nails look beautiful now. Retirement has really forced me to ask myself, Lulu, is this bringing me lasting value? Or is it quietly draining my peace and my finances? Number 3, this is huge too. Amazon impulse buying. Oh my goodness. Amazon became dangerous for me. It was too easy. One click, I'm done. The package is on my porch the next day. And because returns felt so simple, I convinced myself that it wasn't really spending. Except half of the time, I never returned the items. Or if I returned them, I would have them credit my account instead of returning the money to my card. Or the return window passed. Or boxes sometimes would sit in my hallway for weeks at a time. And meanwhile, the money was gone. So now I have a personal rule. Anything non-essential has to sit in my cart for at least 48 hours. And it is shocking how often I go back later and think, Lulu, Why did you think you needed this? Because you know what? I didn't need it. The emotional rush disappears. The boredom shopping disappears. The late night scrolling temptation disappears, especially when you see influencers saying, buy, 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 buy me. And honestly, I think online shopping has quietly become one of the biggest killers in retirement because digital spending doesn't feel real in the moment. But it adds up incredibly fast. Number 4, overpriced skincare. Now listen, I still believe in taking care of your skin, especially in our midlife and those of us in our 60s and beyond. But I was buying expensive products because my vitamin C, it was $138 because I believed expensive automatically meant better. Luxury packaging, fancy ingredients, tiny jars that cost a fortune. And after doing a lot of the research, I realized many affordable skincare brands were actually focusing more on science and skin health than luxury marketing. And honestly, simplifying my skincare probably improved my skin more than constantly layering expensive products on my face. Retirement has really taught me this. Sometimes less is truly more. And number 5, I love to eat out, but I was eating out too often. Now, don't get me wrong. I still love to go out and have beautiful lunches with friends, romantic dinners with my husband. I absolutely love going to coffee shops, and all those special moments out are so precious to me. But somewhere along the way, eating out and coffee shops became normal instead of occasional. And restaurants are expensive now. One meal can easily become $50 or more by the time you add tip, drinks, tax, appetizers, and if you're lucky, a dessert like that peanut butter chocolate pie. And if you do that multiple times a week though, that's hundreds of dollars every month. So instead, I started creating more beauty at home. That means candles, music, pretty dishes, fresh flowers, homemade sourdough bread, simple, healthy meals. And honestly, some of my favorite moments now happen right at my own table. Retirement has made me realize peace is often cheaper than entertainment, and it's sometimes even more enjoyable. Number 6, buying duplicates. This one shocked me when I started paying attention. One time I had 7 yellow mustards in my refrigerator. No joke. They were all half full. I kept buying versions of the same thing over and over. Another candle, another tote bag, another beige sweater, another white blouse. Not because I needed them, but because I forgot what I already had. And I think clutter creates spending. Because when your home feels chaotic, you stop seeing clearly. So now before I buy something, I ask myself, Lulu, do you already own something that serves that purpose? And most of the time, the answer is yes. Number 7, trendy home decor. Social media can quietly make you feel like your home is constantly outdated. New rugs, new pillows, new trends every single season. And I realized I was buying things not because I love them, but because they were trending. So now what I do is I focus on timeless beauty instead. Wood, linen, baskets, greenery, warm lighting, and neutral textures. Things that still feel beautiful year after year. And honestly, my home feels calmer now, more peaceful, more like me. And number 8, wasting groceries. This one used to be terrible for me too. I would go to the grocery store full of ambition. I would have my weekly healthy menu plans. I would buy all the fresh produce, the fancy ingredients, and guess what? Life would happen. It gets in the way. And that meant things were spoiling in my refrigerator. So food got thrown away and money got wasted. So now I shop smaller and more intentionally. I plan our meals around what we already have, and I freeze more things. And this one was really hard for me because I'm not a leftover person, but I figured out how to repurpose leftovers. And honestly, what it's taught me is that simple meals are often the best meals anyway. And number 9, subscriptions. Oh my goodness, these little monthly charges are sneaky. Streaming services, apps, membership, monthly boxes, $5 here, $12 there. And before you know it, you're spending hundreds of dollars every month on things you barely use. My girlfriend Janet just told me last night that she realized she was paying Panera Sip Club for the past 10 years, and that's $10 a month. So, take the afternoon, do an audit of everything. And if you haven't used it recently, I recommend you cancel it, because that's what I did, and I'm saving over $75 a month. And here's what surprised me most. Many of those subscriptions represented an aspirational version of myself, not the real me, not my real life. And that was eye-opening. And finally, number 10. This is the one I think quietly destroys more retirements than most anything else. Saying yes to everything. Yes to every event, every lunch, every obligation, every shopping trip, every fundraiser, every expectation. And what people don't realize is that constantly saying yes costs you money. Gas, clothes, gifts, eating out, travel, emotional exhaustion. But even more than that, it steals your peace. And I think many retirees become financially, emotionally drained because they never learned how to protect their time. Retirement isn't supposed to become a season of nonstop obligation. It should become a season where you finally learned what actually matters to you. And for me, that has meant slowing down, enjoying the days, being more intentional, and living a life of joy, creating beauty instead of chasing consumption. And honestly, I feel wealthier now than I ever did when I spent far more money. Not richer because I have more stuff, but wealthier because I have more peace, more margin, more gratitude, more clarity. And I think that's the hidden secret no one talks about in retirement. Thriving usually doesn't come from dramatically increasing your income. It often comes from quietly reducing the things that drain your joy, your energy, and your finances. So I'd love to know in the comments, what's the one thing you've stopped spending money on this season of life? And has retirement changed the way you think about money, peace, and what truly matters? I'm Lulu, helping women live a faith-filled, colorful life through scripture, style, color, and the beauty we create at home. Women becoming in every season, including this one. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and follow me.